Hello everyone and welcome to another video in this fascinating series of Life on the Railway. I do hope you have enjoyed parts 1 to 4. As I say, you know the drill now. Watch 1 to 4 before you watch this next part, which is part 5, the Railway Guard. The other most important person after the footbrake crew was the guard. In the very early years he had no special vehicle to ride in, but perched out in the open at the back of the rearmost carriage. In the days before there was any continuous braking system for trains, the only brakes were one on the locomotive and a handbrake controlled by the guard. In an emergency, for example, if a coupling broke, he could bring the rest of the train to a safe halt. Later he was housed in his own guard's van, where he also kept a lookout for signals and other dangers. The guard could communicate with the driver, and if he signalled that the train had to stop, then the driver had to follow his instructions. It was a job of considerable responsibility and still is today. The guard's van also often doubled up as a parcel van. The guard would accept the different items and make sure that they were unloaded at the right station. One of the earliest innovations was the travelling post office. The first mail was carried on the Liverpool and Manchester Railway in 1837, but it was a Grand Junction Railway Company that introduced a special van on its route between Birmingham and Warrington the following year. This was a converted horse box that not only carried the mail but also allowed it to be sorted en route. It had a mechanism invented by a post office official, John Ramsay, that allowed the mail bags to be picked up and dropped at a trackside device when the train was moving. By the middle of the 20th century there were 73 travelling post offices at work in which the staff sorted the post. It was a system made famous by the 1936 documentary film Night Mail, with its first commentary written by W.H. Auden, which starts, "This is the night mail crossing the border, bringing the cheque and the postal order." The introduction of corridor trains that allow people to move from compartment to compartment and carriage to carriage brought new staff to the trains. Ticket inspectors were now able to check tickets while the train was on the move, which made it far more difficult to avoid paying the fare. It had been possible to sleep on crude beds in carriages in the earlier days, but in 1873 proper sleeping cars were introduced complete with attendants to make up the beds and look after the passengers. Another innovation was the introduction of the dining car on the Great Northern Railway's route between Leeds and London in 1879. Preheated meals had been served previously, but this dining car had its own kitchen producing excellent meals. The staff consisted of that of any restaurant, except that the chef and his assistants had the narrow confines of a kitchen that rocked and swayed, and the waiters had to provide exemplary service without pouring soup over a passenger's head when the train jolted. Now when the guard waved his flag and blew his whistle to give the signal right away, there could be a sizable staff working between him and the men on the footplate. So there we go folks, there ends part 5, looking at the role of the guard and some other onboard staff as well. The next part, which will be part 6, going along nicely here, will be about the station staff, looking at the working in the goods yard and reporting to the station master. So if you don't want to miss this video, then don't forget to click on the bell for a notification as to when it goes up, and also to subscribe to my channel. Also, if you're enjoying this and know anyone else who may enjoy this series, then please do get them to have a look at this channel and hopefully they subscribe as well. So until the next part, take care of yourselves folks, thank you for your continued support and goodbye for now.